Ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba. I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. Putting bullets in the bad guys. Fill 'em with my freedom seed. Since the dawn of man, we have been blowing it. Then, in the 10th century, we started blowing things up, thanks to the invention of gunpowder by the Chinese. That can't possibly be. Oh, it was the cool Chinese. False alarm, guys. It's back when China was still cool, not like the Timu SSR that we have to deal with today. Regardless, ever since, shooting has been an integral part of hunting, recreation, and testing someone's critical thinking skills. Now, I could compare and contrast shooting in real life with shooting in video games, but that would make for a much longer and better video. So instead, let's skip right past one of the best hobbies to one of the worst. Shipping. I mean video games. Now, shooting has been associated with gaming since the beginning. Space Invaders had aliens introduced to planet doctrine. Asteroids was doing an early version of fracking. And canonically, Pac-Man had to shoot his shot with Ms. Pac-Man at least once, right? Like they were married, right? Both in-game and in the business world, they had a marriage born out of profit rather than love. Profit? I always thought they were just passionate exorcists doing the work of the Lord. With video games being more popular than ever, we are getting more shooting games than ever before. Every day before midnight, I check every game that was released on Steam that particular day. This isn't a bit. I actually do this. You can ask Love. And between the sea of horror games, hentai games, and deck-building roguelikes, I see a spooky assload of shooting games in all sizes and flavors. You've got your vertical shooters, your horizontal shooters, your top-down shooters, your side-scrolling shooters, your arcade shooters, your tactical shooters, your shmups, your flumps, your first-person shooters, your third-person shooters, your good first-person shooters, your good third-person shooters, your twin-stick shooters, and your one-stick shooter, aka a Survivorlike. So, what is a Survivorlike? Well, it's any game that is heavily inspired by the game Vampire Survivors. It's not bad. It's a decent game. As you can see, even a few people would agree with me. You walk around, and periodically the game attacks depending on which item you have equipped. You pick up experience and level up and gain new abilities. If you die, you can unlock permanent upgrades to make future runs a tad bit easier, encouraging you to do one more run before work or class or the gym. I've played a few of these games now, and they don't really hold me for more than an hour. Look, I get it. Positioning is important for experience gathering and making sure you don't get bang-ganged by enemy spawns. Build path is important so you're not outclassed by late game. Managing attack timers is like threading a needle in 4D, I get it. It's just not enough to hook me. No, not even my beloved Castlevania can grab me. Partially because the last good Castlevania game is old enough to vote. And we all know who it'd vote for. That's right, Charlotte and Jonathan. No, for a Survivor's clone to grab me, it needs to be special. It needs to be meaty. It needs to be hot. It needs to be a little cheesy. And the game that delivers all of that is Pest Apocalypse. Pest Apocalypse? It's about delivering pizzas. Call it Pizza Apocalypse. Or, wait. Or Pesto Apocalypse. Huh? Anybody? In Pest Apocalypse, you're a pizza delivery driver trying to survive and make a living in a post-apocalyptic world. Oh, like post... Okay, no, I get it. They're totally right. Choose your vehicle, pick up the pizza, deliver the pizza, get some tips, and get a random passenger upgrade. Repeat and survive until time runs out. Yes, this game has 13 passengers, which essentially act as your weapons to beat back the ravenous hordes. You've got Steve, a grunge musician who is taking full advantage of the lack of government to enjoy his Mac 10's giggle switch, to a pink-haired brap enjoyer, to 3, let's say, misplaced barbarians who fuse to make Broden Lord of the Bropocalypse. Look, they even have Froglodyte representation for those of you who care about that sort of thing. Kill enemies to gain experience, and then pump that experience into your passengers. Equip them with their corresponding vehicular upgrade, and you can purchase their Super Saiyajin form from the shop. Listen, I know it sounds like I'm just an idea guy, spouting out whatever sounds cool in a game I'll never make, but this game actually exists. You can go buy it right now. Speaking of buying, I think this is also the first time I've ever bought a soundtrack for a game. Crazy Taxi isn't the only Sega game whose DNA is in the ragu here. The soundtrack funks hard just like JSR. I don't really know how to talk up music aside from Turn It Up, which was my first impression on every song in the game. The sound design overall is terrific, as even when a stage is nearing the end and awash in chaos, and you have infinity attacks against infinity +1 enemies, the audio cues are still discernible. Visually, despite the fixed isometric camera, you never have issues being able to read what's going on at a glance. An impressive feat, especially considering the breakneck speed you can be zooming around at. At first, I was a little puzzled that I didn't have control over the camera, as it is a 3D world, but that's to the player's benefit. Each level is unique. No tweaked topography here. Keeping the camera angle fixed helps you not only remember obstacles on the map, but pickups as well. From wing blades to spiked battering rams to, yes, even an N-bomb, these pickups not only assist you on your routes, but reward you for learning the level layouts. With all that said, what makes it truly stand out from other Survivor games? The second-to-second gameplay. Yes, I meant to say second. Look at any other Survivors game, and the biggest difference is in speed. Very slow, plodding movement. With Pest Apocalypse, you have to be locked in before you even pick up your first pie. Enemies spawn all around your vehicle, including in front of you. In Vampire Survivors, you can just shimmy to any negative space. But in Pest Apocalypse, even a small detour can drop how many tips you get. Your options are to either drive through them, taking a bit of damage, jump over them, or drift around them. Safely and skillfully navigating around enemies rewards you with avoiding the next batch. Again. Repeat for 8, 10, 12 minutes. I'm gonna be honest here. The hardest level in this game is the first one because it teaches you how to actually properly play the game. It's gonna beat your ass for a few hours. Hell, it beat mine. Actually, it's still beating mine. I'm stuck on this level where it's like almost all vertical. It's like a lava world. There's slugs. You're not only dashing through the pests, but you have to time your deliveries just right. Spend too much time killing enemies to farm XP and you'll miss out on tips and possibly the shop. Drive straight from pickup to delivery and you won't be able to buff your guys. At the end, once you get it, once you feel it click, once you drive into the exit pipe with a sack full of hard-earned coin and get to spend it on some juicy permanent upgrades, it's such a rush. It honestly reminds me of my first job when I was a teenager, coming home from a long day of work, of being yelled at, coming to the grim realization that most adults are just fat children, and just sitting on the couch and staring at the wall. Not even enough strength left to turn on the television. But hey, you got enough money for a few packs of Magic the Gathering cards, and a pizza at Sbarro at the mall. Hell, that's still how I live my life. Except instead of cards, it's now guns, and instead of pizza, it's the Parmesan-encrusted chicken with double broccoli at Longhorn Steakhouse with the homemade strawberry lemonade, and hell yes, I want some bread. And if you have leftover bread, consider spending it on Pest Apocalypse. This game is firing on all cylinders and has all the toppings. I didn't even get to talk about using the physics to slingshot yourself around the map, or the different vehicles and skins, or how much I adore the mix of sprites and low poly designs. No, this isn't the game I would make if I had the talent, time, or budget, but this is the game I think Mark from Classic Game Room would make, so it'd probably be better. made it this far in the video, I want to say thanks. I like when the YouTubers I watch release stuff around the holidays, so it feels good to have been able to do that myself. I'm not joking when I say watching the Infinite Reviews Christmas special is the only real tradition I have. I'm also not joking when I say Happy Holidays. And if you're Christian, Merry Christmas. And if you're not Christian, well, just keep holding that L, losers.